This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
You are watching the New Hampshire Association of Broadcasters award-winning YCN Game of the Week. Today we're at the University of New Hampshire for the NHIAA Division II Boys Basketball Championship, pitting the 9th-ranked Kearsarge Cougars against the 3rd-ranked Pembroke Academy Spartans. The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by HR Club and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist for the most complete line of energy products, and with a level of superior customer and on-site service. Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. Mascoma Savings Bank. With no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in the community. La Valley and Middleton Building Supply. Home improvement and construction from concept to completion in 10 locations in Vermont and New Hampshire. New London Hospital, where they're celebrating 100 years of community wellness together. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948, committed to crafting the finest quality jewelry for our customers. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing healthcare and hospice services in homes and community settings, and enabling people to stay there as long as possible. My TV, airing every weeknight from 8 to 10 on WYCI. Watch Law & Order Criminal Intent, Chicago PD, Dateline, The Good Wife, and CSI Miami.
From Lundholm Gymnasium on the campus of the University of New Hampshire, welcome to our coverage on YCN of the Division II Boys Basketball Championship game. It's 3rd-seeded Pembroke and 9th-seeded Kearsarge. Bob Lippman, Jeremy Stout with you. And Jeremy, for Pembroke, a club that has been on this floor a lot over the years. They only lost once in the regular season to get here.
Yeah, they came in, they're coming at 20-1, the number 3 seed. Not a lot of familiarity with this Kearsarge Cougar team as they've been bouncing between divisions 1 and 2, Cougars 2 and 3. So they have played, but not recently. Pembroke's won 8 in a row. It's been a while. We'll see if Kearsarge can do something about that today.
Have to love the enthusiasm that Nate Kemp's squad brought here to the semifinals against Merrimack Valley the other night. They were able to get the lead and they rode that all the way to the finish line.
Yeah, this Kearsarge team, we saw them at the beginning of the year when they hosted Lebanon, won it on a buzzer beater. They kind of slowed down in the middle of the season, but over the second half, they've really picked it up. Only 13-8 on the record, but this playoffs, every game they've been the lower seed. See if they can do it one more time.
Kearsarge's second half of the year played as well as anybody in the state. That's why they're here.
Yeah, their defense, they have the size. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be strength versus strength. Noah Tremblay, Kyle Hernan leading this Cougar team their senior year. It's going to be a battle today.
Have to slow down Pembroke's 1,000-point scorers, Noah Cummings and Sean Menard. Looking forward to calling it for you today on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Additional local support for today's championship game is provided by the Flying Goose Brew Pub and Grill. Family-friendly dining with New Hampshire's first solar-powered brewery. Beltate's Building Products and their A&B Lumber wish both teams good luck. Chadwick Funeral and Cremation, family-owned and operated for over a century. Charlie Max, the best pizzeria in the area, supports the Kearsarge team. The Lumber Barn, large enough to meet your needs, small enough to care. And by R.C. Brayshaw and Company, innovative printing, mailing, and marketing solutions.
We're going to send it down to our public address announcer to get the starting lineups.
Now let's get down to business. Meet the lineups for the Cougars. Number 3, Ben Carl. For the Spartans, number 1, Noah Cummings. For the Cougars, number 5, Kyle Hernan. For the Spartans, number 5, Tim Pittman. For the Cougars, number 35, Adrian McCarthy. For the Spartans, number 11, Sean Menard. For the Cougars, number 15, Jake Jala. For the Spartans, number 14, Jack LaHoulier. For the Cougars, number 34, Noah Tremblay. And for the Spartans, number 20, Shea Shackford. The Cougars head coach is Nate Camp. The Spartans led by head coach Rich Otis. Today's officials, Keith Frank, Steve Burrows, and Tim Purrington.
Congratulatory handshake as we get ready for the competition to decide the Division II state champs in New Hampshire boys basketball. Hollis Brookline, the defending champs. Cavaliers did not make it back here. Today it's Kearsarge in the blue and Pembroke in the white. Jack LaHoulier, 14 for Pembroke. Jack Jala for Kearsarge, and Jeremy, we're underway.
Well, as we talked about in the pregame, this Kearsarge team, low-ranked number 9, kind of a surprise to be here. Last year, everyone thought they might be here as a top seed, but getting upset in the quarterfinals. They have gotten back to where they thought they would be last year.
Illegal screen on Kearsarge. And our officials today, Tim Purrington, Steve Burrows, and Keith Frank. Officials do play a big factor. Neither team goes particularly deep, so ticky-tack kind of fouls early in a game could be a little problem. And for Kearsarge, that was on Noah Tremblay. The Noahs, Noah Cummings for Pembroke, were each the leading scorer for their teams in the semifinal wins here on Monday. Teams have had a lot of time this week to get ready for the championship game after a quick turnaround from the quarterfinals to the semifinals.
Yeah, and then they have the extra break there.
Rattles out for Menard. I'm sorry, for Tim Pittman, senior starter for Pembroke. This is Ben Carl. Comes around the screen of the big guy Hernan. Takes the shot, no good. Hernan tried to tap the rebound. Loose ball picked up by Menard. And it goes right back. Double dribble.
A good effort there by the Cougars trying to tip that loose rebound, and then the time the Spartan player grabbed it, hadn't quite caught his bearings. And as we sometimes see here in these championship games, usually earliest start time of the year, you've got a big crowd, a little familiar with the surroundings, but usually a slow start on the offensive side.
Lundholm is filled for this Division II game. Great turnout by both schools and a lot of fans from around the state who wanted to take this one in. Still looking for our first points. We played almost a minute and a half. It's going to be Hernan. Kicks it back out, and into the lane comes Carl, and that's no good. Rebound, Kearsarge. Hernan off of the pass, and one. Carl finds Hernan after getting the offensive rebound.
Nice job there by Carl. Obviously falling down, but staying with it, finding the open man. Cougars on the board first.
3-0. I thought a good start here would be pretty important for the Cougars because this is a Pembroke team that can put points on the board in a hurry. Rather have this team chasing. Pembroke Menard, one of their 2,000-point scorers, makes it 3-2.
And as we see there, Spartans, they have the shooting, very athletic. Obviously the Cougars, they have the defense and the size that we've mentioned, so it's going to be an interesting battle.
Hernan high over his head will come back to Carl, 3-2. Kearsarge in front, 8-minute quarters, no shot clock in New Hampshire. Hernan cannot finish, that's off LaHoulier of Pembroke. Who, by the way, was the one who was whistled on the foul on the Hernan shot, so Pembroke's big guy has one foul early on. Jala comes back in with a ball. Tremblay with the headband, shot up and out. Shackford with the Pembroke board. Finds LaHoulier inside. Now, LaHoulier is not usually a big part of the offense for Pembroke. The big guy concentrates more on defense, but he'll take the shot when he has him.
This telecast is being brought to you by New London Hospital, a Dartmouth Hitchcock affiliate, where they are committed to provide you with the best available health care.
Cougars, the 9 seed, trying to win the title. Down low looking for Jala. Winds back up at the hands of Carl. Why not? Knock it down. It's 5-2 Cougars. Noah Cummings the other way. Dribbles underneath and a foul.
Once again on that last offensive possession for the Cougars, Carl in the right place at the right time. And that's one thing this Cougar team, they thrive on being there, going after the loose ball, making every effort. They have a great feeder program in the Kearsarge School District. Coach Nate Camp, he's been there for a while. These guys really give 100% effort.
Substitution for Pembroke is 13, Jared Dupuis in for Jack LaHoulier. The foul, Jeremy, was on Noah Tremblay, and now less than 3 minutes into the game, he already has 2 personal fouls.
Yeah, you got to imagine he'll sit for the rest of the quarter.
So, drive down low. McCarthy has trouble with it, and Jala stepped down the end line. So, with Noah Tremblay in foul trouble, it's Nicholas LeBlanc who comes into the game, number 20 for the Cougars. PA frequent trips to the University of New Hampshire's Lundholm Gymnasium. State titles in 13 and 14 under then Coach Matalosa, coached today by Rich Otis. We'll go left side into the corner. Pittman for Menard. The runner is good. And it's 5-4. Sean Menard has both buckets early on for PA.
Cougars, that man-to-man defense. A little bit of help was late on the baseline.
PA. This is Cummings. Accelerates in, and a foul on Jala. 4:03 to go in the first. This is YCN's coverage of the Division II championship game.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Harris Family Furniture in Plymouth, Laconia, and Chichester.
Noah Cummings at the free throw line. Had a really nice semifinal win in the 50-42 win over Hanbal. Cummings 7 of 17 from the floor, 5 of 6 from the line, and 20 points to lead his team. Pembroke 6-5.
Now Pembroke picking up the full court pressure and forcing the turnover.
LaHoulier, it was a 4-on-1 break, and getting back to mess up the plays, LeBlanc. And the ball's going to go to the Cougars, and the officials, Pembroke trying to get the attention of the officials maybe to talk about it, but they do not.
A little out of control on the turnover, and then Kearsarge on the inbounds turns it right back over. So a little sloppy, but some good defense in the early part of this one.
3:47 left in the first. First foul on Carl, but already 4 fouls on Kearsarge. That could be a little issue. Cummings with a catch of the inbound, working against Jala, puts it on the floor, dribbles in, shoots off the window for 2. That's just real good awareness of where the rim is, but he used the backboard. It's 8-5. Kearsarge breaks the pressure. Jala takes the pass from Carl, no good. Rebound PA quickly into the front court. Cummings brings it back to Menard. Menard lobs inside. Gave LaHoulier no chance at that one.
Nice job there by Ben Carl, coming up with the steal and then looked to run, realized he didn't have the numbers, pulled it back.
Carl, no good.
Tune in every Saturday at 9 p.m. for YCN Sports Wrap as we take a look at local high school sports in our area. And at 9:30, YCN Sports Talk, focusing on our region's pro and college teams, featuring the Salt Hill Pub NFL Picks of the Week.
Menard foul on the second try, and he'll get to the free throw line. They have got Jala on that, and now he has 2 fouls, and with Jala 2 and Tremblay 2, Nate Camp has a little bit of a concern here in the first quarter with 2:31 left.
And already 5 fouls, as you mentioned, on the team. This Spartans team shooting 12 of 14 in the semifinal game from the line, so they can make their free throws as they just did there.
Timeout, Kearsarge, 2:31 to play. And we'll continue with more from UNH's Lundholm Gym after this on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please.
Bob Littman, Jeremy Stout, Alex Dodge on camera, Andrew Zurheide, our producer for YCN. 2:31 left first quarter. Pembroke 9, Kearsarge 5. Sean Menard, free throw line to the right. Pembroke and Kearsarge did not meet this regular season. They played once last year, and that was a 12-point win for Pembroke. I believe Kearsarge was a little short-handed that night. 10-5 the scores. Menard gets to 6. And a whistle, and the referees are not swallowing the whistles here today.
Oh, that one was a little bit close coming over the timeline, but you're right, they are throwing them frequently as we're already up to 7 total fouls in the first 5.5 minutes.
It would have been a 3 ball for Tremblay. And needing the offense, Nate Camp goes back to his veteran leader. He's playing with the 2 fouls. Right side, Carl, hounded out there by Cummings. He'll kick it around near side. Here's Tremblay for 3, no good, out of bounds. And the ball goes to Pembroke.
Tremblay coming in there after that timeout. A little anxious, a little excited to get the shot off. Maybe rush that one with a man in his face. Not catching anything, and keep that defense going while their offense struggles and finds itself.
Under 2 to play in the quarter as Cummings comes up. He has Pittman to his right. Shea Shackford has been quiet so far, not with many touches on the left. And no good for Cummings. The ball to the freshman McCarthy. Kearsarge brings it up. Carl distributes. Tremblay coming through the lane. Trying to get it through to Tyler Sidmore. 22 now in the game. Out of bounds.
Like your local event televised into YCN's nearly 300,000 TV households, contact us at info@ycnnow.com.
Hernan with the inbounds catch and basket. It's 10-7. Might as well use the big guy there. And the Hoolier's going to be whistled for a travel the other way. And the Cougars with a chance to get right back in this.
Yeah, that's the one thing that Coach Camp and the squad hangs their hat on, the defense, where their offense has really struggled for now 6.5 minutes, and their offense can't get the baskets, but their defense keeps them in it.
Pass down low. Hernan's going to finish. At first, you're probably looking at the play and saying, why didn't Sidmore shoot it? Well, I think out of the corner of his eye, he saw Hernan coming in. The basket gives Kyle 7, and he'll get to the line here with a chance to tie the game. Second foul on Jared Dupuis.
Great extra pass there. The tie game now.
10-10. Pembroke substitution. Kyle Rauke, number 2 into the game. Cummings calls out the play. So he comes through the Wildcat logo. Center of the Jerry Friel court at UNH. Towards 1 minute to go. Cummings in the lane, yeah. Boy, I guess you're thinking you take off there, 2 things are going to happen. Either I'm going to get fouled or I'm going to make the basket.
Exactly, and usually the Spartans are that jump shooting team, but with the foul trouble that some of the key players are in, or overall, no sense in settling for jump shots. Go right to the hole and try and pick up a foul.
Carl for Hernan, then back out. McCarthy will set the play up again. 40 seconds to go first quarter. Noah Tremblay working to his right, comes back behind, finds Hernan on the right side, and we got a foul on the floor now. Watch for 14 here. This is 1 for Pembroke now. No, it's 20. Chase Shackford on the foul. It's his first.
Now premiering every Saturday night at 6 p.m. is Yankee Chronicle, the who, what, and where show of Northern New England on WYCI and WYCU.
Tim Pittman in for Pembroke here with the final 27 seconds of the quarter. Shackford a steal and a foul. Going to get Emerson Tyler on the foul for Kearsarge. It'll be his first. That's already 6 fouls, Jeremy, so Pembroke will shoot free throws the rest of the first half.
It's going to be a long 8 minutes in that second quarter. Coach Camp's squad, but you get a stop here, you're only down 2 at the break.
Menard working his way in, and that falls out. Cougars chance to break out. Long pass ahead, Tremblay, yes! Made the decision not to use the window and able to get it to roll in, and we're tied at 12 at the end of the first quarter of the Division II championship game. Kearsarge has never won a title at Class I or Division II. Trying to make it happen today. And after one, Kearsarge 12, Pembroke 12. This is the Division II championship game on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by LaValley Building Supply and Middleton Building Supply.
The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by HR Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist for the most complete line of energy products, and with a level of superior customer and on-site service. Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in the community. LaValley and Middleton Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion in 10 locations in Vermont and New Hampshire. New London Hospital, where they're celebrating 100 years of community wellness together. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948, committed to crafting the finest quality jewelry for our customers. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing healthcare and hospice services in homes and community settings, and enabling people to stay there as long as possible. My TV, airing every weeknight from 8 to 10 on WYCI. Watch Law & Order Criminal Intent, Chicago PD, Dateline, The Good Wife, and CSI Miami.
End of one, Kearsarge 12, Pembroke 12. Cougars on 5 of 13 shooting. Pembroke 4 of 8. Pembroke turned it over 5 times. Kearsarge 6 in that first quarter.
If you're the Cougars, you're really going to be happy getting to the little bit of a hole early. You took a punch from the Spartans, and you rebounded nicely, especially that last possession, getting the stop, and then coming back on the fast break. Tremblay getting the bucket. Tie game, get a couple of the starters back in there, see if you can kind of start fresh in the second quarter.
So Chase Shackford with a spin move inside, no good. LaHoullier, Pittman, Menard, Cummings for once beaten Pembroke. Pittman, a 3. Pembroke 15 to 12. Pembroke was 0 for 1 from three-point range in the first. Kearsarge 0 for 3. And now PA with the ball. LaHoullier taking on Hernan in blue right by him. 17-12, a quick 5 as Jack LaHoullier, a senior, gets his first points for Pembroke. Carl dribbles into a trap, finds Tremblay, and that's to right back.
Really surprised the defender didn't really try and attack Tremblay there, as Tremblay's already got the 2 fouls. Try and draw a charge, maybe put him in even more foul trouble.
Hernan with a back tap to wound up in Pittman's hands, no good. Loose ball. Carl will grab it a minute and a half into the second. Kearsarge ball down by 3, and Tremblay trying to change that. No good with a 3-pointer. Menard with a Pembroke rebound.
If you're the Cougars, you don't want to fall into that trap where you're going back and forth with the Spartans team. You're a half-court team. You get into the sets, you get the ball inside. You start going too fast, layups, quick shots. That's going to be a negative if you're the Cougars.
Cummings for 2. 8 for Noah Cummings. Pembroke will press off of a 5-point lead. Carl into the front court. Tremblay open is Tyler. No good. The arrow will give the ball to Kearsarge.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all your printing needs. Check airtimes by clicking on schedules, ycnnow.com.
Pembroke 19, Kearsarge 14, and a timeout with 5:48 to play in the second quarter, taken by Nate Camp of Kearsarge. This is the Division II championship game on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association and Hospice.
Kearsarge got here with a 59-46 win over the number 5 seed Merrimack Valley Pride. Noah Tremblay with 23 for the Cougars in that one. Pembroke 50, Conval 42 in a heavyweight slugfest in the first semifinal on Monday. A pair of once-beaten teams just going at it play for play, and it's a close game. Pembroke put it away late. It's Tremblay for the Cougars, down 5, looking for a hoop. Carl accelerates low and has to give it up. Tremblay will reel that one back in. Out near midcourt as he takes on 13, Jared Dupuy. Tremblay right into the lane. He'll get to the line. Oh, they're going to call offensive foul on Noah. That's going to be his third. As Shea Shackford drew the charge.
That was what I was talking about on a couple possessions ago, where if you're going to see Tremblay driving, you might as well take that chance. Your team's not in foul trouble. You're not in foul trouble. You might as well step up. If it's a blocking foul, okay, but then best case scenario, it's a charge. He's got 3 now.
And another foul will get Noah Cummings to the free throw line. Foul to 22, Tyler Sidmore.
This game is being brought to you in part by the Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing independence for patients and peace of mind for families.
Well, Tremblay's going to go to the bench here for Kearsarge. 3 fouls, and I don't think we'll see him again in the first half now with 5:12 left. LaHoolier out for PA.
Yeah, I was surprised they brought him back as early as they did, but you're right. Last 5 minutes and 12 seconds of this half, they will be, you would think, without Noah Tremblay.
I said LaHoolier out. LaHoolier's in for Shackford for Pembroke. It's 21-14 PA. Carl trying to get it down low and missed the connection with Sidmore. The ball goes back over to the academy, and Shackford right back into the game. For Jared Dupuy, it's getting to be an important part of the game now for Kearsarge. Pembroke hits a 3 here. They have a double-digit lead. Cummings coming to his right, working against Hernan. And we'll take him in, and we're going to get a foul on the drive. And it's going to be on the big guy, and Hernan has his first foul.
Yeah, that was
every foul stops, and you're going to foul Noah Cummings. He's one of the best free throw shooters in the state.
And now after this next one, it's going to be 2 free throws going forward. But as we mentioned, their free throw shooting is so good. They've been shooting 2 anyway. But that switch right there that Pembroke took on that screen was beneficial. They had Hernan in a complete mismatch, and then they pick up the foul, so he's basically been their best player inside, so getting him in foul trouble is also one of the strategies of the Spartans.
Noah Cummings has a dozen. Not only that, he's been in the line 8 times already, 6 out of 8. Pembroke by 9, and Kearsarge looking for a hoop, needing it now. Here's McCarthy on the left side. Andrew comes back, looking inside for Hernan, knocked away by Pembroke, and the Spartans have the ball. And a tough second quarter for Kearsarge with only 1 made bucket and a couple of turnovers, and now a 9-point deficit will have Noah Cummings dribbling the ball with space out near midcourt. Rich Otis said, no, go. Comes back right side for Pittman. Back for Cummings to the free throw line. Stops, pops, and buries it. The 2,000-point scorers for Pembroke, Cummings and Menard, have combined for 20 of the 25. An 11-point lead, and Kearsarge has to use another timeout with 3:47 to play in the second quarter. And this is the Division II championship game. Continue with more from UNH's Lund Home Gym after this on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948.
Thanks to all our sponsors that make the Game of the Week possible, especially those in the Kearsarge region that make this coverage possible.
Right off the timeout, Cougars playing without Noah Tremblay on the bench with 3 personal fouls.
If you're the Cougars, you really have to figure out how to get it inside to Hernan. He was obviously the guy scoring the points early. He had 8. Hasn't really done much since.
Turnover. They do bring Jack Jala in off of the timeout, Jeremy, so a chance to draw a little attention away from Hernan with the 2 bigs on the floor at the same time. But yeah, Jala is playing with 2 fouls too.
Yeah, they've been playing, Pembroke's been playing kind of a hybrid man-zone defense where they're obviously focusing on Hernan, but they're going to help a little quicker than you normally would in a man defense. So, and it's obviously worked well. Only the 2 points so far for the Cougars in the second quarter.
9 fouls on Pembroke, 4 on Kearsarge. Menard on the right side comes back up top to Pittman as we close in on 3 minutes to go in the first half.
And the Cougars have now switched to a zone as well. Excuse me, Bob.
And Pittman takes advantage of that and buries the 3-pointer. (16-2) second quarter for Pembroke. And the ball goes back over to the Spartans.
Defense for the Cougars had been in a man-to-man. Assuming you're going to be giving up a lot of jump shots, you'd rather stick in the man-to-man. But Pembroke, whether it was because Kearsarge got in foul trouble early, or hey, we're going to throw something at you you don't think we're going to show, they were driving. So now Cougars trying to adjust from the adjustment and into that zone and see if it has any more success, more than the last possession.
And Kearsarge can literally just spread the floor, and inside, I missed it, Andrew McCarthy looks like he's rolled an ankle defensively for Kearsarge there in the middle, and they're going to help him off to the corner. I'm sorry, I called him Andrew. It's Adrian. My apologies there.
Yeah, just a little injury there before the ball was even entered into the post, so the referee blowing the whistle and letting Cougars get the quick substitution.
And it's Tremblay who comes back in. Cougars settle into a 3-2 zone. And Pembroke, about as good a 3-point shooting team over the last couple of years as you can find in the division. And again, they don't have to rush this. It's 28-14 Pembroke. And timeout. Kearsarge will give Nate Kemp another opportunity here to try to address what to do here about it. And maybe he just doesn't want to sit in the zone for the rest of the half because Pembroke seemed to be in no hurry to take the shot. We'll take a quick break. We'll be back with more of our coverage on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Mount Sunapee Resort. Fun for all seasons.
In addition to airing on our 3 TV stations, all YCN games and programs are posted for your viewing pleasure anytime at YCNnow.com.
Pembroke lost in the semifinals last year. Title that went to Hollis Brookline over Oyster River. 2 years ago, Kearsarge won a Division III title as Sean Menard gets to the hoop, and Pembroke has opened up a 16-0 lead. They've scored 13 points in a row.
After that injury, McCarthy was walking, but he headed to the locker room, so we'll see if he comes out for the second half.
Rebound Cummings, 1:30 to go first half. PA 30, Kearsarge 14. Noah Cummings, 14 points here in the championship game. Pittman doesn't have to hurry that three-pointer. Again, no reason to get it. They throw a bullet inside. Menard's going to get fouled inside. Foul on 5. Kyle Hernan is second.
Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game when we choose the player that had the greatest impact on today's contest.
First for Menard is good. And the danger of falling behind Pembroke big is, this is a team that can put 60 on the board really without a whole lot of trouble. I mean, when they get into their three-point shooting game, it's really pretty. And there's a miss there on the backside. It's 31-14. And for Kearsarge, I mean, you pretty much have to think of this that 60 is probably the number. You're going to have to get to 60 to win this game.
Yeah, I mean, Pembroke obviously already over halfway there. They're shooting nicely from the line, as they usually do.
Foul away from the ball. It's just not going the Cougars' way. Jala now with 3 fouls.
McCarthy's come back out on the bench. It looks like he's holding his knee. Not sure exactly what that is, but he is back on the bench. And I got to imagine if you're Pembroke, hold the ball here for the last 40 seconds.
Pembroke on a 14-0 run. The game was tied 12-12 of the quarter, but the second quarter has been dominated by the Spartans, who have hit 6 of their 9 shots. Also 5 of 6 free throws here in the second quarter.
Unfortunately, because of the foul trouble that the Cougars got in early, the defense now, they can't play that tight when you see that clearly the Spartans are wasting clock because you foul them, you put them to the line, it's 2 free throws.
All right, here comes Cummings with 5 seconds. Menard, right elbow 3. No good. He's right on line. And one last try by Tremblay, no good. And Kearsarge is going to have to turn the page here and come back and try to do the same thing to Pembroke, what just happened to them. PA outscores Kearsarge 19-2 in the second quarter, and so at the half, it's Pembroke 31, Kearsarge 14. This is YCN's coverage of the Division II boys basketball game from UNH's Lundholm Gym.
This YCN segment is brought to you by New London Hospital, an affiliate of Dartmouth Hitchcock.
Additional local support for today's championship game is provided by the Flying Goose Brew Pub and Grill. Family-friendly dining with New Hampshire's first solar-powered brewery. Beltade's Building Products and their A&B Lumber wish both teams good luck. Chadwick Funeral and Cremation, family-owned and operated for over a century. Charlie Max, the best pizzeria in the area, supports the Kearsarge team. The Lumber Barn, large enough to meet your needs, small enough to care. And by R.C. Brayshaw and Company, innovative printing, mailing, and marketing solutions.
We're back here at UNH, big second quarter for Pembroke, 19-2 advantage over the Kearsarge Cougars. So PA with a 17-point lead heading into the second half. And let's talk first of all about Kearsarge. And Nate Camp had to play with his lineup a little bit there with foul trouble for Noah Tremblay, foul trouble for Jack Jala. Kyle Hernan even has 2 fouls now.
Yeah, Coach Camp really obviously dug a hole early with the fouls, not only on the court, but like you said, off the court, trying to figure out who he's going to play. And then he went from the man-to-man, he switched to zone, trying to stop some of the driving, but Pembroke just does what they do and started making some shots. So Coach Camp's going to have a little bit of a tough time coming up with a game plan here for the second half, but it just starts with hitting some shots if you're Kearsarge. As you mentioned, only the 2 points, 1 field goal in that second quarter. They need to start making some shots and claw back into this thing a little bit at a time.
And with Kearsarge trying to make things happen, 11 turnovers in that first half to just 5 for the Academy. So Kearsarge is going to have to take, not only not commit the fouls, but take better care of the basketball and make every possession a winning one here. First step is you try to get the lead under 10. Then once you get to 6, that's when you kind of start to put the pressure on, make the opponent start to worry a little bit, get it down to a 2-possession game. Still have a lot of basketball to play, there's no question about that, but this was not the game plan that you would have drawn up if you were the Cougars.
Yeah, and you wonder if they will come out with a little bit of a different strategy. Obviously taking care of the basketball and not fouling is always what they want to do, but maybe throwing on possibly a box and 1 on Cummings, as we saw them switch to a zone defense, but Cummings shooting brilliantly, 6 for 8 from the free throw line, so even when he's not making his field goals, he's 4 for 6, he's getting to the line. So they really have to do something about that, but like you said, 1 possession at a time. Get under 10, call a timeout halfway through the third quarter, you start chipping away. This Kearsarge team, they've been here before, they're an underdog, they know what it's all about, they're going to come out strong in this third quarter.
31-14, Pembroke at the intermission of the Division II Boys Basketball Championship game on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Lake Sunapee in Newberry Harbor.
The YCN Game of the Week is brought to you by HR Club and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist for the most complete line of energy products, and with a level of superior customer and on-site service. Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. Mascoma Savings Bank, with no shareholders to please, they are committed to remaining independent and to reinvesting profits in the community. La Valley and Middleton Building Supply, home improvement and construction from concept to completion in 10 locations in Vermont and New Hampshire. New London Hospital, where they're celebrating 100 years of community wellness together. Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer and mailer located in New London, New Hampshire. MJ Harrington and Company, jewelers and designers since 1948, committed to crafting the finest quality jewelry for our customers. Bubba's Bar and Grill, offering fresh salads, hearty sandwiches, brick oven pizza, entrees, and award-winning seafood chowder. Lake Sunapee Region VNA and Hospice, providing healthcare and hospice services in homes and community settings, and enabling people to stay there as long as possible. My TV, airing every weeknight from 8 to 10 on WYCI. Watch Law & Order Criminal Intent, Chicago PD, Dateline, The Good Wife, and CSI Miami.
Same 5 starters in the second half here at Lundholm for Pembroke Academy and their coach Rich Otis. Rich, who went to Merrimack Valley and was a longtime coach of the Pride. Now coaching here at Pembroke Academy in his second year. Noah Cummings, Tim Pittman, Sean Menard, Jack Logulier, and Shea Shackford. Let's see, Kearsarge in the second half, waiting for the 5th player, and now out onto the court comes Nicholas LeBlanc to join Jack Jalla, Kyle Hernan, Benjamin Carl, and Noah Tremblay. Adrian McCarthy injured a knee in the first half, so he's not playing to start the second half. Looks like the knee is iced over on the bench. And here we go. Menard up top, comes over to Shea Shackford. He can shoot 2, by the way, 20. Missed there for Menard. Menard at 9, Cummings 14 for 23 in the first half of the 2,000-point scorers for Pembroke.
Switching back to the man-to-man defense there. Pembroke with a lot of ball movement, an offensive possession, but Kearsarge keeping up nicely and forcing the miss, and here's where they can start their comeback.
Looking for the possession. Get him a good shot. Jalla underneath, and a foul. Foul on number 11, Sean Menard, will be his first personal foul. Kearsarge only went to the line twice in the first half, and they were 2 for 2.
Today's telecast is being brought to you in part by MJ Harrington, Jewelers and Designers in Newport, New Hampshire, and by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more.
Jallo makes 1 of 2. 31-15. In transition, Pittman with a miss of the 3. Loose ball, LaHoulier has it, and he'll kick it back out. Menard for Cummings, passed up the 3, goes back to Menard for 3, and in a collision in the lane, Noah Cummings will be called with a foul. Well, 2 quick fouls on the Spartans.
Little excited there on the ball movement. They kept trying to go off screens and get the open man in the corner, and a little too much, as we see, a little too tight on the defense, and a 3rd quick foul.
Okay, Shackford on the foul, so it's a minute 19 of the 3rd quarter, and we've had 3 Pembroke fouls. Remember, you only get 7.5. The 7th foul puts your opponent at the free throw line. Carl takes the inbound, down low Hernan, immediately double teamed. Pembroke comes out on that zone, and we get another foul on the Spartans. Officials here today, Steve Burrows, Keith Frank, and Tim Purrington. Now 4 fouls on PA. All right, now we get one going back the other way. Pittman on the foul. They're going to call the foul on the big guy, Hernan. The inbounds play was designed for him, give a little push off, try to clear some space. So a minute and a half into the second half, 31-15 Kearsarge, down by 16. Cummings, no good. Jallo saves it. Tremblay to the front court. Going to go all the way in, no good. Tremblay's second chance, no good.
That's where the Cougars are falling into that trap, running fast break end to end, because that's what Spartans are doing. So they get the rebound, they're going the other way. Really got to slow it down and get in those half-court sets and try and get it to Hernan or Tremblay.
Shackford comes driving left side, baseline jumper for 2. His first field goal. Shackford, a junior, 5:40 to go in the 3rd quarter. Pembroke will put a little pressure on. Tremblay comes up top for Carl. On the drive, down low. Hernan a little trouble with it. He'll bend down, pick up the ball, give it back to Jallo. Now right side, Carl drives behind the back pass. Hernan with a fall away, no good.
Had it set up for what they wanted. Hernan just couldn't hit the close one.
The Cougars shooting just 27% for the game. They've got to find some offense, and that's the way to do it. Jack Jallo with his first field goal. 5 minutes to go, 33-17. Again, first goal for Kearsarge would be get this under 10. Cougar student section up and shouting defense. Pembroke can really work for a good shot. Cummings is picked by Carl. Turnover.
Great defense there by Carl. Playing tight man-to-man defense, but it's all hands on the ball, not getting the body involved. Fowler.
In and out. Jallo tried to tip it on the other side. LeBlanc with a miss. Jallo with a follow-up. Pembroke give and go. Shackford is fouled. That's 4 on Jallo. 4:09 to go, and Jack will go to the bench in favor of Tyler Sidmore.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Newberry Harbor, serving brick oven pizza and much more.
Cummings turnaround in the lane, no good. So not much of anything here. 3-2. Kearsarge advantage here in the third quarter.
Yeah, the Cougars defense has really played well. It's just, once again, they have not been able to get their offense on track.
Tremblay knocks down his first 3 of the game. 33-20, one more, and he can get this down to 10.
Coach Camp asking the student section to get up, keep the noise level up. You get another stop, and like you said, get it down to a single digits or down to 10 with 1-3.
Cummings, what's he going to do with the ball? Distributes it behind. Pittman comes back to Noah on the baseline, working against Hernan. In traffic, no good. Rebound, foul, Pembroke. Menard second, and that's number 5 of the half on Pembroke.
This third quarter is a mirror image of the first quarter, because you remember Kearsarge had fouled 7 times before that first quarter was over, and it looks like with 3 minutes to go, Pembroke's going to be doing about the same. They already have 5.
Big trip. LeBlanc feeds inside, out of the hands of Sid Moore, and Pembroke will pick up the loose ball in the corner. Had a shot there. Pittman comes back up top to Cummings. In order for a 5-second count to begin, that defender's got to come out and play. Shackford for Menard. And there's no, Pembroke's looking for a backdoor cut here. I mean, that's as simple as can be. If they don't get it, then dribble back out. And you can do that with a 13-point lead. 2:19 to go in the quarter. Menard working up top against Carl.
At some point, I think if you're the Cougars, you're going to have to start guarding him and at least get that 5-second count. You only have the 2 fouls, so not foul trouble. Defenders have played well on the ball so far in this quarter.
Menard gets the spin move, gets the basket and a foul. Double figures for senior Sean Menard. He has 11. Basket will count. Second foul on Ben Carl. And Nicholas LeBlanc over with Coach Camp on the sideline as Menard tries to finish off a 3-point play.
This telecast is being brought to you in part by New London Hospital, a Dartmouth Hitchcock affiliate where they are committed to provide you with the best available health care.
3-point play the old-fashioned way, 36-20. Tremblay wants to, doesn't get it. Rebound, a block. Menard knocked it away from Sidmore, and the ball back to PA. Menard on the drive, then gets fouled by Sidmore. His second. 1:39 left third quarter. Pembroke by 16, and Sean Menard going to the line to try to add to it. Game was tied 12-12 by halftime. Pembroke with a 31-14 lead. First is good.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Mascoma Savings Bank, mutually owned with no shareholders to please.
Second free throw, no good. LeHoulier, offensive rebound, Pembroke, and Menard. The lead is 19. Timeout Kearsarge, 1:31 to play, third quarter. Pembroke sensing a title in the Division II championship game on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Echo Communications, a digitally integrated commercial printer.
Today's game is being brought to you in part by Echo Communications. Call them for all your printing needs. Check air times by clicking on schedules at ycnnow.com.
The top of Division II this year, and again, you look at Pembroke lost only once all year, and they were the 3 seed. It's because this Division II had 3 teams finish the regular season at 17-1. Oyster River was knocked out by Kearsarge in the quarterfinals. Pohnval lost to Pembroke in the semifinals. Hernan will get to the line for Kearsarge.
It's kind of been the story of the night for the Cougars. Have not gotten anything to fall around the rim, as we see there, Hearn with a couple of attempts, finally getting fouled on the second one, but just has not quite been their afternoon.
Around and out. Hernan will get another opportunity. Menard will get a breather for Pembroke with 1:24 left. Hernan has a team-high 9. It's 39-21. The hope was that Kearsarge is going to be able to get this down to 10 going to the fourth quarter, but that's not happening.
And they had it down to 13 at one point. So clearly, since that point, it's ballooned even more.
17-point PA lead at the half is now 18 with 1 minute to go in the quarter. Give and go inside. LeHoulier off the catch. No. Shackford with a backside rebound. Will tap it through the lane and back up top for Cummings. Pembroke fans applaud the effort there to save the possession, and that's what PA does. They really have a lot of confidence in what they do on the floor. Everybody kind of has their roles, and LeHoulier's role is to make sure that Pembroke has the ball. Shackford will feed LeHoulier. He'll dribble in. Back to Cummings. They want to hold for one shot. They can. 20 seconds left in the quarters. Cummings works against Tremblay. Timeout, PA. With 18.4 to play in the third quarter. We'll keep it here. Bob Littman along with Jeremy Stout.
If you are the Cougars, in order to come back here, you got 8 minutes and 18 seconds, really. Start attacking the hoop. Get Pembroke's obviously already in foul trouble, but get them to that 7th foul, and then at least you might be able to get a chance at the free throw line to come back a little bit at a time here.
Not much offense in the third. Pembroke has outscored Kearsarge 8-7, 8-3 of 9 shooting. Third quarter since the halftime break for PA. Kearsarge 2 of 9. And Pembroke has run this clock down to 6-5. Cummings for 3. No good. And we'll go to the fourth quarter with Kearsarge needing to make up 18 points in the championship game. Pembroke, the 3 seed, 39. Kearsarge, the 9 seed, 21. It's the Division II Boys Basketball Championship on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Harris Family Furniture in Plymouth, Laconia, and Chichester.
Additional local support for today's championship game is provided by the Flying Goose Brew Pub and Grill. Family-friendly dining with New Hampshire's first solar-powered brewery. Beltate's Building Products and their A&B Lumber wish both teams good luck. Chadwick Funeral and Cremation, family-owned and operated for over a century. Charlie Max, the best pizzeria in the area, supports the Kearsarge team. The Lumber Barn, large enough to meet your needs, small enough to care. And by R.C. Brayshaw and Company, innovative printing, mailing, and marketing solutions.
Right, one more quarter to go in the championship game. It'll be Kearsarge ball first, and the Cougars clearly need a run, and they need to play another big defensive quarter. They did a good job there keeping Pembroke under 10, but so many close misses. Tremblay, that one comes up short. This has not found the stroke here at UNH tonight. Cummings into the front court. Shackford inside. LeHoulier. And in no good. And that's off PA. Oh, they'll say knocked out of Menard's hands.
The defender jumping in there and knocking that one away.
Jack Jallo will play for Kearsarge with the fouls. They inbound it, quarter to Timothy Pittman. And Tim Pittman has his third 3, and Pembroke has its biggest lead. Carl, right side scoop, no. Hernan winds up on the floor in the rebounding action, but Jallo was able to get it. And now the shot up, and it is no good for LeBlanc. And Kearsarge has played this second half without Adrian McCarthy, the freshman, injured in the first half.
Now the Cougars really have to start pressuring on the ball to get that 5-second count started and at least force the Spartans to pass the ball around and maybe make a mistake.
Boy, and it would all start if you could make some shots.
That would help.
Cummings, no contact there, and they let that go. Foul situation, Pembroke sitting at 6. They've been there a long time. Kearsarge 4. Inside, LaHoulier no good. Rebound, Tremblay. Cougars break out with it, and here's a must trip right now. Tremblay rushed it. Didn't get a real good shot.
They've gotten into that pace where they're just rushing to get the shots off, and went up against the defender and the lay-in, couldn't connect.
Menard right in front of the Pembroke bench and head coach Rich Otis. Inside Menard, on the floor once, turn around, baseline, no good, rebound Carl. 5:52 to go, fourth quarter. Inside Jala, good off the pass from LeBlanc.
Great look there, back door. Made sure he got it up in the air, got it off the backboard and put it in, no question. Needed the points there to open the quarter.
42-23. Left side is Shackford. LaHoulier right side for Cummings. And an offensive foul. Carl sold it, I think, pretty well.
He did a nice job there. He kind of started stumbling backwards, and I think halfway down realized might be able to sell this one. And he went all the way to the floor, and that'll be the 8th foul, or excuse me, the 7th foul. So the next foul will be shots now. Obviously that offensive foul, you don't get the free throws.
Come back the other way, Carl for 2. Kearsarge will use one of their remaining timeouts. And Carl has 4, and it's 42-25, 5:12 to play. We'll be back with more after this of the Division II championship game from UNH on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by H.R. Clough and Kearsarge Heating, your local energy specialist.
5:12 to go in the fourth quarter. Kearsarge breaks their huddle, and Pembroke, the Spartans, Pembroke Academy with the basketball here. Their fans looking to celebrate here. Hernan got a hand on it but couldn't save it.
Well, that's what you got to do if you're the Cougars these last 5 minutes if you want to come back. Obviously, the offense needs to start flowing, but that defensive intensity, as you see, picking up man-to-man defense full court, got to get some turnovers.
Both coaches stressed in the pregame interview the importance of defense and rebounding in the game here today. Pembroke had a big second quarter in which they held Kearsarge to 2 points, and that defensive stand is the difference in the game here. They won the quarter by 17. They lead here by 17. Cougars have played even in the other 2 quarters. Fourth foul on Kyle Hernan. This has been, over the last 3 years, one of the most successful runs in Kearsarge basketball history. Should not lightly go past that. They won a state title in Division III back in 2017. Had a terrific season last year too. Hernan's done, bid 5.
Stay tuned at the end of our telecast for the H.R. Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game, when we choose the player that had the greatest impact on today's contest.
A bear hug from Coach Nate Camp, not the way he wanted to finish it. Kearsarge a ton to be proud of to get to the championship game here. Cummings. Man, finally got to call something. Cummings will get to the line.
shoot free throws the rest of the way for both teams, as that was the 7th foul on the Cougars. That's 4 minutes, 20 seconds, both teams in the bonus.
Third on Sidmore. Cummings at the line. 14 all in the first half. It's his first point of the second half. Pembroke 43, Kearsarge 25.
Kearsarge has played nice defensively, but also with the Spartans able to run some clock and take some air out of the ball. They haven't had a lot of points in the second half.
43-27, they can press off of the make. Pembroke no problem with that, and they go right into a three-point shot by Pittman. Carl comes right back out of it. 3:53 to go.
A surprising shot there, rushing that one for the Spartans.
And another field goal for junior Ben Carl, and it's 43-30. Can PA come up with another, or can Kearsarge come up with another stop of PA? Cummings front court. Menard, no. Tapped. Tremblay has it for Kearsarge.
Now, if you're the Cougars here, you're down 13. You got a lot of momentum. You're excited, but you can't take a bad shot. You had the spot there. Tremblay had the position. He had the baseline. He felt like he could take it. Obviously, it worked out. Closest they've been since midway through in the third quarter.
3 straight field goals. 7 off of the lead. It's down to 11. 43-32. 3:05 to go. Shackford. Back over to Cummings. Again, no shot clock. You got to come out and play. Cummings. Play catch with Menard. Pittman to Shackford. They'll just throw it around the perimeter. Tremblay knocked it out of bounds. Stay with PA. 2:46 left. Timeout. Pembroke. 2:46 left. Pembroke 43, Kearsarge 32 in the Division II championship game on YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by LaValley Building Supply and Middleton Building Supply.
Today's telecast is being brought to you in part by MJ Harrington, Jewelers and Designers in Newport, New Hampshire, and by Top Stitch Embroidery, the best for your team, and so much more. It's also being brought to you in part by Bubba's Bar and Grill on Newberry Harbor, serving brick oven pizza and much more.
Kearsarge looking for a stop. Inbounds play comes to Cummings, double team to the corner. Ball tipped around, comes back inside by Pembroke. Menard, no good. Rebound Kearsarge. Cougars can get this under 10 with a basket with 2:33 to go. Tremblay had the screen, comes on the right side, did not get a good look. Carl back on the baseline and a foul. And where was the foul? Up top?
It'll be 1-1 either way, and if Carl can make a free throw here, it'll turn it possibly into just as good of a possession. And at this point in the game, you don't need a three, you just need a made basket. So you don't need to settle for a bad three if you have a better two-point shot. Still plenty of time left.
No good by Carl on the 1-and-1. Pembroke with the ball. 2:18 to go. Had the ball there, but no points on that trip down. As Cummings works up top. Emerson Tyler with the defense on Noah Cummings. It's tight. Cummings comes free throw line into the lane, got it to roll over the rim. 45-32.
Nobody stepped up there. They saw that the defender had been beat, but nobody stepped up to stop him.
Off the mark for Tremblay. Back to Pembroke.
That last sequence with the missed free throw, no points on the possession, come back, give up a two, a big swing. Might have been it, as it's now 13 points with only 100 seconds to go. Minute 41 now.
And another foul with 1:41 left. Nice two-game run here in Durham for the outgoing senior Noah Cummings. of Pembroke Academy, 20 against Conval, and he is the game's leading scorer tonight with 17. As Jack Jalla fouls out for Kearsarge. No good on the 1-and-1. Kearsarge does pick the ball up. And now Noah Tremblay got to get into the offense quickly and does not finish it. Skidmore puts it back in. Sidmore, excuse me. All right, so Kearsarge will use its final timeout in an 11-point game, 45-34 with 1:27 left. We'll take one more quick break. And we'll be back to wrap up the Division II championship game after this. Thanks for watching YCN.
This YCN segment is brought to you by Lake Sunapee Visiting Nurse Association and Hospice.
For Pembroke, 1:27 left. Trying to get cleanly through these final seconds. Menard, backcourt, 3 there. Foul on Noah Tremblay. Noah picked up his 3rd foul with 5:22 to go in the second quarter and has played all the way through this till the final minute 20 and now picks up his 4th foul. Pembroke at the free throw line. Sean Menard rattles out. No good. Tremblay. Tyler takes it down. No. Rebound. Pembroke. 1 minute to go. The Cinderella season for Kearsarge is about to come up just a little bit short.
Great effort. Obviously, we've mentioned the number 9 seed winning on the road, and then obviously here in the neutral location in the semifinals, 3 upsets. Just didn't have enough left, and when you don't hit your shots, you shoot 34% from the field. 14 for 41, only 2 made threes, and as Bob mentioned at halftime, the turnovers in that first half really dug them an early hole. Only 13 so far for the game, so only 2 in that second half, so far.
Hey, you know, one of the interesting stats here is for the game, Pembroke has made 15 field goals and Kearsarge 14, but all the fouls have created the discrepancy on the scoreboard here. It's a 12-point lead after Menard made 1 of 2 free throws. 53 left. Carl, no good. His job, Carl, to try to get Kearsarge back here. I think they've had a fun little trip to Durham. Foul from behind on Emerson Tyler. And for Noah Cummings and Sean Menard, denied in an opportunity to play in this championship game last year, they're going to get the job done here in 2019.
Well, that was a good time to nominate our Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game. And Bob, some of the players obviously on the Spartans team, who do you have as the HR Clough Kearsarge Heating Turning Up the Heat Player of the Game?
I think it's Noah Cummings, and again, continued to take the ball to the rim. Didn't need his three-point shooting, but his terrific three-point shooting ability. Took only 1 here in the game tonight, but has gotten himself to the line time and time again, the floor leader. Sean Menard, terrific game as well. And again, the 2 of them right now have combined for 33 of Pembroke's 46.
And as Cummings is at the line now, the student section was chanting MVP, so he does get the respect from his fellow classmates and the fans of Pembroke Academy.
Seniors Cummings to the bench and LeHoulier to the bench. And with the timeout, a hug from Coach Rich Otis. 38.7 seconds left. Pembroke 47, Kearsarge 34. And you look down the Pembroke roster and you realize, I mean, this is one of those teams that kind of looks on paper like this was their year with the 1,000-point scorers. For Kearsarge on the other side, they're going to bring some talent back as well. But these are 2 senior-laden teams in terms of the players that they bring to the floor.
Yeah, Kearsarge will lose a handful of seniors, but really Hernan, obviously, Tremblay, and Jala will be the three key pieces. And they do have, Ben Carl is a junior. He'll be back next year. Sidmore will be back. And they obviously, McCarthy was playing earlier as a freshman. Flanders, the sophomore. Kearsarge usually has, as I mentioned earlier, a great feeder program. So they'll be right back, hopefully in the same spot, but clearly at the top of Division II, top half.
So we have some new players getting out of the floor for both teams. Kearsarge on the drive is the 9th grader Chris Stansfield. And a foul on Pembroke. Foul to Nathan Cassidy, 21 for Pembroke in the game right now. 23 is Nolan Grant on the floor for Kearsarge. Jacob Dupuis. 4 is Timothy Flanders. And who do we have across the way there? Is that 33 Cody Elliott? I think it is. Good. So Stansfield with a make. 28 seconds left, 47-35. The lead is 12. Pembroke coming back over. Timothy Griggs, 4, a junior, 12. Jackson Dupuis, he's a junior, final 10 seconds left now. They're on their feet on our side of the court. Pembroke, 47. Kearsarge, 35. The 7th state basketball championship in the history of Pembroke Academy. The Spartans rule Division II, hurting back a bit from 9th-seeded Kearsarge, 47-35.
Great effort from both teams. Obviously, congratulations to the Pembroke Academy Spartans. Really, after that first quarter where they were tied 12-12, they never looked back, holding the Cougars to only the 2 points in that second quarter and extending the lead, ending up with the 12-point victory. And over on the Cougar side, great effort. Obviously, they're disappointed, heartbroken after getting this far as a number 9 seed. They didn't want that season to end, but unfortunately, there's got to be a winner and a loser. And the Cougars this year come up on the short end down here at UNH.
Yeah, Noah Cummings would be the player of the game, 18 for Pembroke, finishes 20 in the semis, 18 in the finals. Sean Menard, 16. Tim Pittman, 3 threes for 9. Shea Shackford and Jack LaVoulier, a bucket each for PA. For Kearsarge, nobody in double figures tonight. 3 players with 9. And that would be Ben Carl, Kyle Hernan, and Noah Tremblay. And then Jack Jalla with 5. 2 for Tyler Sidmore, 1 for Chris Stansfield. Yeah, 47-35, and the game totally turned in the second quarter.
Yeah, that was it. Tied 12-12 in the first half, for the first quarter. Too many turnovers, as we mentioned, for the Cougars. Weren't getting their shots to fall, and they came up on the short end with a good effort. And the final here, they lose 47-35.
So congratulations to the Pembroke Spartans of Rich Otis. They win the championship today over Nate Camp's Kearsarge Cougars. Do want to thank our videographer Alex Dodge, producer Andrew Zurheide, and out for Jeremy Stout, this is Bob Lippman saying so long and thanks for watching our championship coverage on YCN.